So here we are today in the Florence Central Market here in Italy. This place has been around since the late 1800s. It has about 30 vendors and they all have such a variety of different foods you can check out. From pizza, fresh meats, cheeses, gelatos, spices. They even have a great selection of wines. And the fresh made sandwiches are to die for. I'm so excited because we ended up picking up some dried porcini mushrooms and some sun-dried tomatoes. Also some pasta, so we can make some recipes when we get back home. Well, unfortunately our trip came to an end and we are back home. It was so wonderful spending time with our friends over there. We had a blast. But I am excited to bring home those ingredients that I picked up at the market so we can make this dish for you. It's something my wife's kind of tweaked a little bit. We call it like a creamy Florentine Tuscan chicken with mushrooms and sun-dried tomatoes. And we put it over pasta. Let's get started. I soak the dried porcini mushrooms in warm water for at least 6 hours. That way they'll become tender for our dish. Once you strain your mushrooms, you might want to save your mushroom stock for any other future dish you might make. I'm just going to give them a rough chop so they're kind of in smaller pieces for our dish. This olive oil was another gem we brought home from Italy. So I've got my pan preheated on medium-high. You can also do this in a Dutch oven. Okay, so now we're just going to drizzle our preheated pan. Maybe about a tablespoon. Then we got to get our tablespoon of garlic-shallot puree, or you can do about 3 cloves of chopped garlic. I'm going to turn this down just a bit. That aroma's coming out. Next we're going to throw in our half cup of diced sun-dried tomatoes, followed by our cup of chopped porcinis. And you just want to keep stirring this for a couple of minutes. Oh yeah, I've got my, from the garden, some Italian thyme. About a good teaspoon stirring in there. Okay, after a few minutes, we know the garlic and shallots cooked off and our mushrooms are starting to sweat. We are going to deglaze with some Chardonnay. I've got about a 1/3 cup here. So as you're deglazing, you want to scrape the bottom of that pan, get those flavors off of there. And let that wine cook down. All right, now we have to add 2 tablespoons of Kerrygold butter, followed by a good tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half of flour, so we can make up our roux. And all roux is equal parts fat and equal parts flour. They usually say by weight, but I just kind of eyeball it. But at this point, you're going to want to keep cooking until you can kind of start smelling the flour. It'll kind of have like a little nutty aroma once it starts cooking. After your roux is cooked for a few minutes, we're going to stir in 1 cup of chicken broth. I'm going to bump the heat up just a little bit. And we're going to keep stirring this until it starts to thicken a bit. All right, it's starting to thicken up. It's been a few minutes. Now we're going to pour in a cup of our heavy cream, followed by a cup of fresh grated Parmesan Reggiano. I'll start with a little less than a cup just because I want to see what the consistency is going to be after it simmers. And then lastly, let's put in our pre-cooked chopped chicken. I've got about 2.5, 3 cups here. Or you can also even use leftover turkey. Okay, and now we're going to add a couple of cups of spinach, baby spinach. And you know, spinach cooks down, so you can be real generous with your spinach. And now we're going to put the lid on and let it simmer for 15 to 20 minutes. Oh man, after 15 minutes of simmering, it is ready. You can use any pasta you like. You can even pour it over pasta, but my wife likes me to stir it in. So we're gonna use about a half a package of the Dolce & Gabbana cooked spaghetti. This is such a hearty, wonderful, easy dish, guys. Okay, now we're gonna garnish fresh cracked pepper from the heavens. And if you like it spicy like my wife, you can use some red pepper flakes. Sprinkle some on top. And then lastly, let's hit it with a little bit more of the Parmesan Reggiano. And just like that, we're at my favorite part of the video where I get to eat. Remember, like, share, subscribe, tag that notification bell so you'll be notified when we make our next video. And as always, thanks for tubing in. Oh, let's get a little bite here. I think I took a bit off more than I can chew. Mushrooms, sun-dried tomatoes, spinach, Parmesan cheese, pasta, cream. Can't go wrong, folks. Give it a try and let us know what you think.